Charlie for Busted. He's a bit of a wolf boy. Isn't he?
I don't remember the ones for Busted. Was that the one who started his own sort of rock band? Him with the big eyebrows?
Firestarter.
Kickstar. Kickfire.
Firestar. Why are we saying things at the same time? This has never happened before. You've never seen this?
Nope.
How did you manage to evade this?
Man, you have to understand, I was in high school. Twilight mania was running wild, man.
Twilight 2008, by the way?
Yeah. God, yep. Let's do it. I'm so excited.
When Bella Swan moves to a small town in the Pacific Northwest, she falls in love with Edward Cullen, a mysterious classmate who reveals himself to be a 108-year-old vampire.
The movie starts out in a forest. We are watching this deer at a pool of water. Something is hunting the deer, but we don't know what. Suddenly it realises there is something there and it takes off. A few seconds later, a shadowy figure sort of takes the deer down and we presume.
There's a voiceover as well from Bella. So right now, the movie's just started. I'm hearing this voiceover. I'm feeling nothing. I'm feeling no emotion whatsoever. Dread, perhaps, of what's to come.
Scared because that deer was taken out?
No. I was looking forward to that deer getting it in the neck. I knew that something was going to happen. It doesn't show you a deer running through the woods in a vampire movie without something bad happening to it.
We are in Phoenix and we are introduced to the narrator, Bella. This is Christian Stewart. I adore Christian Stewart, man.
I like her in other things. This is not one of them. She's fine. It's not her fault. This is terrible material. She's trying her best, I guess.
Bella is shown on top of a hill potting a small cactus.
So you can buy cactuses out of, is it cacti, plural? Several cactus pots I bought from IKEA, like wee mini ones. I thought they were like really cute and decorative.
You cowboy. Why did you buy them? You're on a list.
No, there's like 3 different types. There's like a wee jaggy one, a wee short one. They're all different.
Were you trying to defend your house with 2 burglars?
Kevin McAllister style.
Did you attach one to a toy train? What did you go up to that weekend?
Do you know what? Fuck you. I'm not going to tell this story anymore. I bought some cactuses out of...
Listen to you Tory. Bella's voiceover explains that she is moving away from her weird ma. This is Nina from 24 and her stepfather.
Is Nina from 24? I knew I'd seen her somewhere. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, Phil, they plan to travel with his minor league baseball team.
We never see Phil, do we?
You don't see this ma again until the wedding. She doesn't see what sight of a werewolf. Bella's mum tells her that she doesn't have to go to Forks, but Bella says it is okay and she wants to.
Is Forks a real place?
It is a real place.
Yeah. Right. It's got a population of 3,120 people.
She introduces her dad, Charlie.
What are you laughing at Charlie for?
What do you think of Charlie?
I think Charlie's alright.
Because you dress like him. Look at you in your plaid.
I knew wearing this shirt was going to be a problem.
Plaid dad.
Charlie. I like Charlie. I think he's the most likeable character in this movie.
That's because you'd audition for him. I imagine you and Charlie going for a good chili.
Aye, definitely. Couple of beers.
They pull up to Charlie's place and unload her things from the police cruiser. Charlie is the police chief and he takes her stuff up to her room, saying he's cleared off a shelf in the bathroom for her. Bella moans there's only one bathroom.
Oh yeah, it's only got one bathroom in here. I'm like, here you go. See if you grew up in a council house. You'd be lucky to have one bathroom.
She'd be like, what's a council house?
Right, fair enough, you wouldn't know that. But like, My dad never hanged me as telling me that they used to have to like share a close toilet. Like the whole close would have to use the one lavvy.
That's disgusting.
That is think about that. You and your neighbour sharing the one communal toilet. Anyway, the point is, she's very like rude to Charlie. Charlie's trying his best as the chief of police.
You pure love, Charlie. This has been a total 180.
What was he expecting me? Expecting me to rip into Charlie? I can tell you're not a fan of Charlie.
You completely sympathise with him. The room has all of our old stuff in it. Art supplies, etc. Charlie explains that he just had someone pick out new bedding for her. You like purple, right? Yeah, purple's nice. They stand awkwardly for a moment before he excuses himself, and Bella's voiceover says that one of the good things about Charlie is he doesn't hover. This next scene introduces Billy Black and his son Jacob.
And it also introduces Jacob's hair. Where's this wig, man? Jacob boy comes back.
The wolf boy.
The wolf boy comes back and he's got like shorter hair in the next trailers and the posters and stuff. So like, when does this hair come off him?
They rip that thing off him, and I'll tell you what, isn't it a joke that boy's wolf body in that sequel?
Oh, I know about that. I've not seen this film, but I've seen his body.
Here.
He had fucking pink coins off it, man. He wouldn't feel a thing.
Charlie, if he busted, he's a bit of a wolf boy. Isn't he?
I don't remember the ones for busted. Was that the one who started his own sort of rock band? Him with the big eyebrows? Firestarter. Fireshite. Kickstar. Kickfire.
Firestar. Why are we saying things at the same time? This has never happened before. Firestar.
Is it called Firestar?
Yeah.
No, that can't be it, is it?
I'm sure it is.
Are you sure?
He's a bit of a wolf boy. Oh, that's what I go to school. Oh.
Man, that teacher in that video is pretty hot.
Was in Never Mind the Buzzcocks recently. The next scene introduces Billy Black and his son Jacob as they drop off a truck for Bella.
What a good dad. He's bought her a car immediately. Can I have Charlie's dick?
Excuse me. Charlie bought it from them and Jacob rebuilt the engine, so he shows her the ropes on it, telling her the little tricks she'll have to remember to shift, etc. You've brought her a problem, it sounds like.
He's like, it only starts if you do this, this and this.
FYI, it might get insurance, that's up to you. She asks if Jacob needs a ride to school. He says no, he goes to school on the reservation. She nods, then heads off to school where she is starting her first day in the middle of March.
Yeah, as soon as she gets out of this car, people are dissing her and being like, nice ride. But that looks I've got a fucking motor. 50s gainer pelters immediately. This is the cliche of any high school movie. Somebody starts a new school and people start slagging them. Like, I don't think that happened in our school.
Do you think she's kind of no wondering why she stepped out that car into this world of forks that's green? What do you think of the colour tint in this? The greyness over everything. Pure David Fincherness. So this is a problem throughout the movie. Obviously it's a big choice. This movie, and we'll get to it in other scenes, this is horrible looking, this movie. It's horrible to look at. Sickly. Yeah. All the characters don't look well, and I understand that the vampires, that's kind of the point, they're not well. But even the humans, everybody just looks weird and grey and lifeless and soulless. Even when they're in the woods and the forest and scenes, there's no green in the forest. It's not like... The only time there's any colour in this movie is when these cunts sparkle. It's just blue, green... It's horrid looking. Sickly. The camera's all shaky as well. Like, there's some weird camera work. Weird... crazy zooms. The special effects, we'll get to them. Jesus fuck. I thought this movie had a budget. Bella tries to go unnoticed, but Eric Yorkie catches up with her and introduces himself. This guy is annoying. He, within the first 30 seconds, tells her to chillax. Yeah. He deserves a punch right away for that. He looks like... I don't recall exactly, but... Is he wearing like a black shirt with a red tie, like American Idiot? Yeah, I think that's exactly the way they went for him. He's got like the fringe over one eye as well. Like, this guy's a problem. He jokes with her that he can show her the ropes, make lunch dates, etc., and Bella politely declines, saying she prefers to suffer in silence. He pretends that he's going to do a special article on her in the school newspaper, and she sort of freaks out and tells him not to. In gym class, we get this volleyball scene.
Man, she, like... I know that what they're going for here. They're going for she's awkward, she's not very good at sports, she's not very coordinated. That's what they're going for, but she comes across a bit stupid, doesn't she? It's as if she's never seen a game of volleyball in her life.
It's as if
or
she's
dodgeball.
Never seen a ball before.
It's crazy the way she's acting.
You know when Superman is in school and starts to... his powers awake. It's like that.
It's like the opposite of that scene.
She's like...
This scene's just fucking...
She's hearing all their heartbeats.
Exactly.
In gym class, she sucks at playing volleyball and totally nails a kid named Mike Newton in the back of the head.
I feel bad for this wee guy. Because this is the same guy that later in the movie asked her to the prom and she just pure knocks him back.
So would you though?
Oh, I know. No, but she comes up with some excuse about how she's going out of town. But then at the end of the movie shows up at prom anyway with Big Edward. I'd be like, oh, for fuck's
this
sake.
guy is honestly just Hovis in a t-shirt. This guy is
He
honestly...
white bread.
You could imagine literally just replacing a human head with an orange packet of Hovis, and this is this wee guy.
He does okay for himself though, doesn't he? End up with Anna Kendrick?
Not in real life. No, in real life.
No. Oh, fuck. But doesn't end up at prom with Anna Kendrick's character?
Yeah.
By the way, Anna Kendrick alert, she's in this movie?
Yeah.
She shouldn't be here. She's too good for this film.
She's grinding, man.
I can't believe that she would stoop to this.
No, she's working. That's a smart move.
No, I know at this point in her career she probably needed it, but like looking back,
she had to rattle a couple of these out before she got that up in the air with George Clooney.
I love that movie.
Great movie.
But it's super boring.
It's sad as well. It's so sad.
Sad and empty and boring, but like it pure makes you want to fly.
It does make you want to fly, wee man. Does Saturday Night Fever make you want to disco?
Of course. I mean, like when I watched Flashdance, I wanted to dance.
I listened to the soundtrack the other day.
So did I.
It's so good.
I was dancing with my daughters to the Flash.
Oh, Bella's obviously not interested in Mike, but another girl who jogs up, Jessica, this is Enter.
Anna Kendrick.
Huge Anna Kendrick fan. Amazing.
Yeah. It's just weird to see her in this.
Yeah.
Considering her career went up and everybody else's didn't.
She does that Anna Kendrick thing immediately. Awkward punctuations. She's adorable.
Yeah, but she's really good at it.
Really funny.
Yeah. Good timing.
During lunch, another girl, Angela, snaps a picture of Bella saying it is for the article in the school newspaper. But Eric says there won't be one. He kind of snaps at her. He's like, there won't be one, Angela. Did you hear that? He's like,
oh, Eric's a wee power hungry bastard. He's a wee chode.
Jesus.
Do you know what I mean, though? But, you know, he's like, he's your pal, but like, he'll turn on you. Why am I giving him a hard time? He's done nothing. Just pure unnecessarily angry at this boy. For no reason.
Mike flirts a bit more, and another kid, this is Tyler, shows up and steals Mike's chair.
And then kisses Bella on the cheek.
This guy gets a lot of rough material to work with, this Tyler, and doesn't come back for any sequel, I believe.
I think there's a good reason for that. His character's a pest.
Just annoys you.
He runs up, takes his chair, and then kisses her on the cheek.
Nearly smashes into her later.
That's true. He gets a rough time, yeah. I've got a feeling Charlie, the police chief, makes him disappear.
Jessica uses this opportunity to scoot up closer to Bella.
Can I say something, sorry?
Yes, sir.
This is her first day at a new school. She has got hundreds of friends. When do we see this happening? Usually in these movies, the awkward girl moves to a new school and she's like an outcast. She does that bit where she doesn't know where to sit at the lunch table. She ends up going to sit in the toilet by herself like in Mean Girls. But like, she's instantly in this like group of popular kids.
You need to think of the location. There's probably more guys than there is girls. The guys will like her initially, so the girls sort of need to flock to her to some
I think
degree.
it's just because she's the new person in this small town.
Enter.
The Collins!
Right, what do you think of this?
Fuck me, man. This is where I started sighing. So again, this is my first watch of the movie. Never seen it before. Didn't know these people were in it. I knew that there was one vampire in it. I thought it was just a movie about a vampire falling in love with a wee lassie, and that was the films. I didn't realise there was like a family of these bastards. So these Collins walk in and they look like a 90s alternative rock band.
Yeah, or like a boy band.
They look like Placebo a wee bit.
It's crazy, isn't it?
They walk in and there's even like a wee guitar riff as they all walk in. They get their own cool entrance music like the wrestling. They walk in and it's like, meow, meow, meow. And she's like, who's that? And they're like, oh, that's the Collins, and it's a pure big deal. They all walk in slow motion. This is crazy, man.
We get Rosalie, Emmett, and they are together.
What is this about? Like, I was watching this being like, is this incest? Are they implying that there's incest going on?
They kind of acknowledge they're like step kids, but they two are humping.
Yeah, they're not technically brother and sister, but they're together. It's kind of weird. And I'm like, have these Waynes been watching Pornhub in the future?
We get Alice.
I don't know what you're saying these names to me. They're all interchangeable. I don't know who's who.
Alice is the mad tail.
Alice is the one who can kind of see the future. We find out.
Aye.
Fucking hell with these powers. Also, what is this X-Men bullshit? They're all mutants and they've all got their own version of powers.
What did you think of Jasper?
What one's Jasper? Is that our wee pal, our wee Bond boyfriend? Brother?
The one that's pure spooked. He's
He looks spooked all the time. They say. What's his power?
He's like a recent vampire. He's just turned, so he's freaking out.
That's kind of cool. I wish he was in it more.
Just wants to eat everything in sight.
Aye, so these Collins come in, they get their own music, they're all weird looking, they're all pale, and then Big Edward walks in, Mr. Patterson, the door swings open, and we get a big meow 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 guitar riff as he walks in slow motion, his big hero shot, and I'm like, oh Jesus, man.
Boy's looking good, man.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I do not understand it.
That's Batman.
Oh, don't get me started on his fucking Batman.
I adore that Batman.
Fucking shite.
No.
So he walks in all pale and weird. I don't get the attraction, but he gets his big hero slow motion walk in.
You're pale and weird.
And as they're all walking in, is it Anna Kendrick's like giving her the lowdown on these Cullens, their incest family, adopted by some doctor or something, and I'm like, what is going on, man?
You make it sound like a Resident Evil backstory.
Man, it might be this guy, the doctor, their father, Carlisle, looks like Wesker from Resident Evil 1.
You keep
Stick some sunglasses on this prick.
You keep referring to him as the doctor.
He is a doctor though, isn't he? Dr. Acula.
That laugh was shocking. Let me see, Captain. Yeah, Jessica calls Dr. Cullen a matchmaker, and Angela says she wishes Dr. Cullen would adopt her. That's a weird way to normalise that. In comes Edward, and Jessica tells Bella not to even bother because he doesn't date. Because obviously none of the girls here are good enough for him. Bella says that wasn't even her intention and looks at Edward. He looks sort of angry as he looks back at her. She looks away. What a tension here.
There is zero chemistry in this movie between these two arseholes. Oh my god, there's negative chemistry. These two don't belong together. Do you think they've got chemistry?
You sound like the Volturi.
Who's that? I don't know what that is. I don't get the joke.
It's Michael Sheen's crew in the later sequels. They're like ancient vampires.
Michael Sheen's in these movies?
Why?
What?
Oh, he's balls deep in them.
So he's just staring at her across this table, and she's looking at him back, and he's just looking at her like with intense hatred, it looks like. And here's the thing about this movie, and we'll get to it, I'm sure. There is a lot of staring, man.
Yeah.
A lot of like creepy just looking at each other, and I'm like, what is going on?
And it's riddled fruit.
Aye, yeah, I get that.
Off to biology class. As Bella walks in, sees Edward staring at her.
Does he jizz in his pants here?
I don't know what.
What is this scene? I was just like, am I seeing like an alternative cut of this movie?
A fan blows Bella's scent towards Edward and he gives it the...
It literally, see like see the Jizz in My Pants music video? The face that Andy Samberg does, obviously joking. You know what I'm talking about? That's like, he does a pure like...
Do I know what you're talking about?
No,
the
but
song's called Jizz in My Pants, man.
No, but I'm talking about the facial expression.
It's the old face.
What is he doing? What is this scene?
It's a mix of...
I looked at my wife because she's watched this movie and she knows that I'm going to hate this, so she's watching me watching this. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, what is going on? And she just laughs and she's like, I've got no fucking idea, but it's hilarious.
Does she like these movies?
No. I don't think she's seen them all. I think she's seen the first one and knew that it was terrible. She likes vampire stuff though. Like she likes that Vampire Diaries show and stuff, all that shit.
With Stefan and Damien?
Yeah, I'm assuming you're a fan too.
No, I just know some stuff about it.
Alright, yeah, she likes that stuff. So she does like vampire stuff. So I think she's seen a couple of these movies for that. But even she liked Practical Magic. But she couldn't defend this. And nor did she try to. Like, she pretty much admitted that this was terrible. But this scene is just so weird. Like, she walks into the class, her hair gets blown in his direction, and he just jizzes. I mean, that's the only thing that he can explain.
No, he looks like he wants to spew.
No, but it's like the noise and the fact that he jerks and he sort of crosses his legs and his face, it's weird. Whatever they're going for, it doesn't translate onto screen.
There is only one empty seat and it's next to Edward, so Bella takes it.
He's covering his mouth.
And he shoves one of the tapeworms in her direction. He has black eyes. When she sits down, she sniffs her hair, trying to figure out what's wrong. Right before the bell rings, Edward bolts. Bella goes to the school office for something that we don't find out about.
No, she follows him.
Wonders why he's off.
Yeah, because she looks offended that he's been so rude to her, and like he's like, she thinks that she smells kind of thing. No, she does though. So she's like, what the fuck's this guy's problem? It's like she like follows him to see what his problem is, and
she gonna pull him up for it. Do you think I smell?
I smelly bastard.
He'll smell me. Neil. And she just takes his seed and shoves it in. And he's fighting her. He's like, madam, please. And she's like, no, get in there.
I smell alright, don't I?
I'm from Arizona.
I smell like cactus.
See, in the morning, she just gets up with something and rubs it under it.
Oh, it's pure raw skin because it's Jagger.
And her dad's like, Bella, that's no good for you. And she's like, it's what we do.
Arizona. He's like, you need to move. You need to leave Arizona. That's not right.
And she walks in and Charlie, and he's just hitting a fork against his oxtail in the morning. He's like, Fox! This is what we do.
I love that there's a universe where whenever you put on deodorant, you just have to shout out with your face.
If your feet glaze, it's glass.
just fucking covered in blood constantly.
So stupid.
He's at this office and he's like trying to change class. The worker behind the desk is like, oh, there's no more available, you have to keep biology. He's like, and he looks up.
Is that straight for the script?
My script is better than this, by the way. She's like, there's no room at the inn or something, you're going to have to stay in biology. And he looks right at Bella and goes, I guess I'll just have to cope with it. I'll buy home, you cheeky bastard. What does that mean?
He pure swaggles away.
Aye. It's pure funny.
Brutal. You know she's just gone to the nearest shop, which is miles away.
Oh, I'm buying a can of sheer deodorant.
So much deodorant.
And draining that can.
Bella and Charlie go to a diner for dinner. Everyone there tries to help her remember them, but she can't really remember any of them. And
this guy comes over named Waylon.
Do you remember him from Seinfeld?
Yes, he's from Saint. I knew that he was from something.
I have this knife.
Yeah, good character actor. But I'm immediately, and I know this is just me, and it's not implied in the movie, but he comes up to me and he's like, oh, Bella, you're looking good, or something like that. And I'm like, paedophile.
You cannot just say that, man.
He's like, remember I used to play Santa and you used to sit in my lap? And I'm like, oh, he's a problem.
Jesus, Ryan.
Did you not get this impression of this guy, no?
I was just worried about vampires, man, and maybe Frankensteins. I don't know what's out there.
Oh, Waylon's out there with his Santa outfit. Remember, I used to be Santa.
Bella is obviously uncomfortable with all the attention.
I would be uncomfortable if Waylon was hovering about me.
Charlie reminds Waylon that she was 4 when this happened. Bit weird.
That's what I'm saying. He comes across really strong. He's like, oh, do you remember me? And I used to be Santa. And Charlie's like, she was 4.
Your youngest is 4-ish, 3?
5.
5.
Oh, my youngest is 3.
Imagine I was like 20 years from now or 10 years from now. Oh, mine dad did that. That yo-yo trick.
She'd be like,
excuse me?
Daddy, who's this man?
Why is he in our house?
I'm like, oh, we don't know him anymore. I used to do a podcast with him, but it went south.
He just cries sometimes outside. The food looks quite good.
Yeah, I've got a couple of notes about the food later in this movie.
Good portions and stuff.
This diner looks good.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice homey wee diner. It kind of reminds me of the diner in Twin Peaks though, which I don't know if that's a good thing.
R&R, great thing.
The food in this movie, the diner's fine, but there's scenes later. The food in this movie's weird.
How?
Like, okay, so we'll get to it, but later on in the movie, Charlie, you know my main man Charlie, he buys a steak. Bella Pure gives him shit about it. She's like, you should stop eating meat. I'm like, bitch, you've just moved in here. You've gave me shit about having one bathroom. You're on my dick about having steak. You're sitting there with your mushroom salad.
On my dick. Where did you learn this?
It back.
What cool guy did you see with a leather jacket that taught you this? Have you been watching that Chris Rock again?
Oh, he's not cool anymore. Have you seen him doing those insurance adverts?
I did see him doing that.
Jesus fuck.
Chris
Rock used to be cool, man.
Did he? Was he?
In the 90s, like when he was doing just stand-up before he done movies.
Mate, I've never been huge on him. Honestly, I don't know. I liked him in Lethal Weapon 4.
It was okay in Lethal Weapon 4 and then it was a downward spiral. Do you know what? I'm glad he gets slapped. I've turned around on it.
You didn't... I mean... If it was a fight between they two...
You know who's winning?
I mean, I'd be like the Joker and just throw a pool cue in the middle.
I just snap it in half and
go for it
to the death.
Now we cut to... This is some sort of energy plant. The Power Rangers have definitely fought here.
Oh, totally. This is where you... Aye. This is just the generic factory. This is the factory where the guy for...
The generic factory? They make generic?
Today, this is the factory that What's-His-Face pays that guy to beat him up for in Dirty Harry.
Oh, Scorpio?
Yeah, Dirty Harry pays that guy money to break his face.
Yeah.
This is that factory.
A man is running down the stairs and it's quite funny. He's like, oh,
vampires, oh no.
Pure scared.
Big shite bag.
He's pure running away through the undead and we're slagging him. He's running away from something or someone. However, he gets stopped by his pursuers and is attacked. Bella comes down the front steps and slips on the ice. Right in her tuchus. Right in her butt.
Yeah, and that's why we're told that it's now winter. Because Edward has been away from school, so since that day where she smelled like shite, he's not been seen in school. Because she was going to confront him about it, but he wasn't in that day, then the day after, and he's been away for a while. But now that it's winter and it's cold again, he's back in class.
What? I could listen to you narrate a teenager's life forever, man. The way your face does all the stuff you're like, and he was away for winter and he's back.
If you want, I can just read out all my notes.
You're such a sassy wee bitch, aren't you?
Next day she falls on ice. It's winter. Dad goes to check out murder. Edward is finally back in class. He introduces himself. This dialogue and direction is mental. It's like negative chemistry. He asks her super personal questions and it's pure intense. She asks about his eyes and he pure shites it and leaves.
He says it's the fluorescent lights.
He makes up some lame excuse. She's like, your eyes were black the last time I saw you. He's like, oh, it's the fluorescence, and he just walks away from her. But he's asking her pure intense personal questions. I would be like, who the fuck are you?
He pure looks at her and he's like, I'm Edward.
Yeah. As if he's never spoke to a human before. Like, maybe he hasn't. But like, if he's hanging about high schools for hundreds of years, as we're led to believe, surely he's picked up some social skills. By the way, can we just point out the thing that we need to point out? He's like, I don't know, a couple 100 years old or something, and she's like 17.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that all about?
DiCaprio's still at it. Did you see his latest?
But the killing man thing?
He's been pictured with this lassie, this pure young lassie that wasn't even born when Titanic came out. And
That's putting it that way is really depressing.
they're at a Halloween party and she's got her hand down his butt.
Really? Oh.
And it looks like she's giving him a back poke.
Back poke? Jimmy Savile special.
Like she's giving him a baloo. You know, for the Jungle Book, the bear, he sneaks up on you.
Just blue poke at me boy's arse.
Outside, Bella's getting her stuff together. She looks over her shoulder and sees that Edward is just staring
at her
breathing.
This creeper needs to get to fuck.
Suddenly, Tyler's big blue van hits ice, swerves around a car, backing out of its spot. He loses control and heads straight for Bella. But out of nowhere, here comes Edward.
He stops the car with his big super strength.
There's a huge dent in the van. Edward and Bella lock eyes, a lot of staring. He knows he's done something really stupid. Oh, it's
rough, innit?
It's rough. It is rough.
It's a rough scene.
It's a rough scene.
I mean, I get the purpose of the scene is to show that he's used his power in front of her, but they could have done this and made it less shite, couldn't they? It doesn't look good at all. I kind of wish you get hit with that car. Then the credits rolled and I get to leave.
At the hospital, Bella is trying to calm down Tyler. Charlie walks in and pure screams at Tyler for the get-go. He just wants to take him out to the woods.
That's what I'm saying. You never see Tyler again. Charlie's like the chief of police, and this wee boy is never seen again. I'm just saying Charlie's got connections.
Oh, Charlie knows about the old Forks police station and
They built the new one over the top of the old one.
They built it and he just takes him down and he says, "Somebody'll be back in a minute, Tyler." And
And that's just him forever.
he thinks, why was Mr.
Why was Mr. Bella being so creepy?
Mr. Bella's dad laughing like that? It was just a minor fender bender. Hello. Right.
He's not coming back, boy.
Is that somebody else that
That's somebody
annoyed
else that
him?
he left like 50 years ago.
Aye.
He said he'd be back in a minute for me, you see.
Had to eat the last guy.
I've been surviving on rats, but now I got some fresh meat.
Do you want to buy some rat?
He's like, Charlie, come back, I'm sorry. She's not even dead.
Screaming at the door. And we pull out really slowly and it takes forever because he's so far down in the depths of this jail.
And we just see like this puddle of blood coming from under the door.
He's ate him.
As the screams stop. It's a better film.
That's a good film. That's a really good film. Let's go back to Twilight 2008.
Oh god, okay, if I have to.
We're at the hospital. Dr. Cullen comes in. Pierre Fasinelli.
One look at this guy and you're like, that's a vampire.
He is
He looks like a snowman.
This lot are pure obvious vampires.
They're so vampires.
See, if you saw them, you would go, here.
He is a vampire.
That's a vampire.
He has to wear a t-shirt that says "I am not a vampire" or something because you're like, you're a vampire, mate.
It was
Fucking stay.
It was pointing to somebody else and it would
He's
say
supposed to be
he's
a
a
doctor.
vampire.
He's supposed to be a doctor, but he can't deal with his pigmentation problem. Because you'd be like, you need to get some iron or something, didn't you?
She says she was really lucky because Edward was right there to protect her. Tyler starts apologising again and Charlie jerks this divider curtain shut. Dr. Cullen releases Bella and Charlie advises her to call her mum. As Bella heads off around a corner, she notices Edward, Dr. Cullen and Rosalie talking. Rosalie is saying that what Edward did risked the whole family. Good point, totally good point. He should have let it happen.
This scene coming up next is a problem. I don't know what you wrote in your notes. I had, like, all kidding aside, like, there's a lot of scenes in this movie that I don't like because they're, like, funny or comical. This scene's made me pure uncomfortable. He pure, like, really emotionally abuses her here. Did you get this vibe? She basically says what just happened, and he starts lying to her immediately, gaslighting her, being like, "You didn't see anything. You hit your head. You had an accident." She's like, "Oh, I know what I saw. I think you have some sort of power or something." He kind of laughs at her and kind of mocks her. It's pure toxic, man. It's like he lies to her face, says, "You didn't see anything. You've hit your head. And it's like it's pure toxic to be speaking to her.
The books are full of that. The movies are full of this.
Well, this movie is really bad relationship shit. And this is a problem for me. Obviously, when I was in high school, I didn't see this movie, I didn't get it. But these movies were aimed at like teenage girls. And they like idolise this Edward guy and apparently this Jacob guy who we don't really meet in this movie as much. But he's like not a nice role model as a boyfriend. Like, he's quite horrible to her, and she is a terrible, like, she needs some therapy. First of all, she's 17. But, like, there's a scene, and we're going to get to it near the end of the movie, where, like, she wants to live with him forever and stuff, and it's like, you've known this guy for, like, 2 weeks. He's a vampire. Run, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Hear that's in the next 4 films as well, by the way.
I know, I can see it coming, but I'm like, this is what I was saying earlier about these two not having no chemistry. Like, I don't want these two together. These two shouldn't be together. It makes me feel uncomfortable. This scene and the way he was speaking to her and the way he was like lying to her and gaslighting her, like, made my skin crawl a wee bit, man. It's like emotional abuse. No? Is that too deep for this comedy podcast?
Yeah, no, if we don't talk about that every time, we're going to do it every time we have a conversation.
Yeah, but this is the first of it.
This is the relationship.
It's just him saying shit to her, like...
And Bella generally being submissive until she can overcome it.
Submissive to a point where, like, it's almost sexist.
Yeah.
Where she's like, the female, you have to save me. You can't leave me ever, because what if I get in trouble? You'll need to be there to save me. It's like the total opposite of like a James Cameron heroine, where she's like, I don't need no man, I can handle myself kind of thing. This is the opposite. This is what I need to be saved. I need a big strong man to come pick me up. It's all that shit in this film, man. It's fucking crazy. This was written by a woman. What is this all about? I feel like it goes backwards. Am I going too far with this stuff?
No, it's fine, I don't know what to say. You're just a bit red in the face. And
it's just this. It doesn't make me feel
you're pacing back and forth.
Maybe it's because I've got like 2 daughters. But like, see, if I heard like one of my daughter's boyfriends, if they have anyone in the road or speaking to them like that, I'd slap this cunt silly. You've been down in the basement with that boy.
Would you be worried he was a vampire?
That'd be my first question. First of all, you're vampires. Second of all, fuck off.
See, when they start to bring people home, are you going to do the tests? Garlic and silver?
You know,
yeah, and
he's going to put salt at the door and see if he can walk in.
and she's like, I'm sorry.
Exactly, he's a vampire.
He gets like this. He tries to convince her that she hit her head and that he was standing next to her the whole time. She insists that he was across the parking lot and wants to know what happened. He tells her to get used to the disappointment because he's not seeing anything. That night, she wakes up in the middle of the night. Edward is in her room. She turns on the light and he's gone. That is the first night she dreamed about Edward.
That wasn't a dream. He was there watching her.
He was
a danger wink.
This ancient vampire was watching this teenage girl.
It is so creepy. People like are like, oh, I love this relationship. Oh, I stand them. Well, that was a thing. No. Ship, is that what they call it? The Waynes.
Both, I believe.
I ship them and all that. This is probably he's like 100-year-old vampire at least watching a 17-year-old sleep. Get this guy, fuck, get him in the jail.
Was the Vampire Diaries no follow that? I know.
Probably. I assume so. But I think the girl in the Vampire Diaries was at least like in her 20s. She wasn't a 17-year-old.
I mean, compared to a 100-year-old vampire, at least she was in her 20s.
You know what I mean? At least she could like buy a drink or something.
That's the pure Mick Jagger thing. Oh, at least she's in her 20s.
There's the pure Leo thing in it.
Hey, Leo. The next day, Bella gets to school and everyone is crowding around for a field trip. Mike tries to ask Bella to the prom and she's not paying attention. She's looking at Edward.
So he's speaking to her and in the background you can see Edward staring a hole through this wee guy. I see at this point in the movie I don't know his powers yet, so I'm like, is he using like telekinesis on her to make her reject this wee boy?
You were picking this thing apart, weren't you?
Because like he's bearing his soul. This wee white bread guy is like, oh, up your fancy, you want to come to the prom? And she's not listening to what she's saying. And she's like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? And he's like, the prom, would you like to go? And she's like, I'm going out of town. And at this point, I'm thinking that's Edward, like, he's fucking horn her ass, puppet her, making her say this. But I think she just didn't like this wee boy.
You wouldn't even look at Mike if Edward was in town.
None of these boys are attractive.
No.
No for me.
Who would you go with if you were forced to?
Big Jacob. No, with that hair though. No, he needs to cut that hair.
You can't ask him to do that.
I would go with Charlie.
What do you mean?
You don't mean Charlie?
Would you just tailgate it?
I mean, achieve that place. We'd just be hanging about in the parking lot drinking those beers, those white can of beers that he drinks so for this movie. But can I clean your shotgun?
Can I tell you who's sadder than the old cop that still kicks about his high school drinking beer? His wee pal that's about 20 years younger than him that just kicks
That
about
wants to be him.
That just wants to
You've got a best life, Charlie. Let me tell you. You've got no women bossing you around, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like I miss her so much.
I wish I had a daughter called Bella as well.
Do you know Bella's Italian? He's like, yes.
You ever been early, Charlie?
He's like, no. And I've never left Forks. He's like, oh, me neither, man. Fuck that. I'm not going out of this town. I'll grow old here. Me, you and Waylon. You'll see.
Mike tries to ask Bella to prom, but she's not paying attention at first. She finally tells him to ask Jessica because she will be in Jacksonville that weekend. She's making that up though. On the trip, Edward asks her what is in Jacksonville and dodges her questions and tells her...
He doesn't just ask her what's in Jacksonville though. He creeps up right behind her and goes right into her and goes, wait in Jacksonville. Like that.
Wait in Jacksonville.
Like, I'd be like, fuck off, man.
How did you hear that?
How did he hear it? What's he doing listening to conversations anyway? And why is he right up in her face? He's like a real creepy stalker. This is, again, that my toxic relationship where he's been all obsessive and if he's talking to another guy, so what are you saying to him? What are you and him talking about? It's weird, man. I hate this.
Outside again, Bella finally spits out that she thinks Edward regrets saving her. When Alice asks if she will be joining them on their bus, Edward says it's full.
That is quite funny.
He negs her constantly, man.
He's a dick to her.
Back at school, Eric invites Bella to La Push.
La Push is some sort of beach party?
It's pure stupid, isn't it?
Why is it called La Push? And also, it's not a beach party. Once we see it, it's just a couple of people at the beach. I was expecting a bonfire, some marshmallows, somebody with a acoustic guitar playing some ballads, one of those wankers.
Alright, Mr. Moneyboats.
No, but yeah, I mean, in these movies, you always see...
Do you know how much marshmallows cost for a convenience store in Forks? Like $6.55. It's only the big ones.
It's like see when you're in a caravan park and they've only got the one shop for miles apart and they've got that wee convenience store and it's like a $5 for a loaf of bread.
You going to
and it's like, where else you going to go?
You going to do?
Give me a $5.
That's how they get you. The beach down at the reservation with the gang. This is Angela, Tyler, Mike and Jessica. She says she'll go, then drops an apple. Edward does a neat trick. He catches the apple with his foot, sending it back up to his hands, looking like the cover of the book.
Oh, I get that, okay.
That's why that was so prominent.
Right. I thought, and I honestly believe that they were trying to recreate the Spider-Man one scene where Tobey Maguire catches all that food on the tray, which is amazing, by the way, because that's all practical.
Why would they want to pay homage to Spider-Man?
Because that's an amazing scene. If anybody doesn't know, by the way, that's criminal if you've not seen 2001 Spider-Man.
Why are you still talking about this scene? For Spider-Man?
I will on with this, because I've wrote this in my notes. MJ slips, because she's stupid. She falls, her entire tray goes up in the air. Tobey Maguire catches her tray and catches all the food perfectly, and he done this for reals. This isn't CGI.
Why are you still talking about this?
Big Tobey, man, what a warrior.
You thought they were paying homage to this because he caught an apple.
Basically, it's the
Where
same.
Where was the web?
It's the same scene. I have questions about their sex life.
Biology?
Yeah. I mean, this probably comes into playing the sequels more than this movie. How do they have sex?
They can't yet. They can't
Why
yet.
not?
He'll kill her if they do. He's too strong. He's too powerful.
Right.
His love's too strong.
So stupid.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Does that mean like, right? I don't understand. Like, I'm actually asking you.
Vamp out.
Is that what it is? Like,
Yeah.
So if he gets too,
he'll rip her apart.
Right.
She says, your mood swings are giving me whiplash. He explains that they really shouldn't be friends. He just keeps coming up to her and giving her a wink and then going, piss off.
Why won't he just fuck off? He's always there when she looks up. And then she says, like, I think you're like a superhero. And he says some terrible line about, like, oh, you keep on comparing me to superheroes, but what if I'm actually the villain? And I'm like, well, you're a fucking villain. You're a paedophile for a start, so fuck off.
You would be like, oh, what does that mean?
Exactly. He keeps on, like, for somebody who's trying to hide his identity, he keeps on dropping these big, not subtle hints. Like, see, if he just stayed away from her, she would probably drop it.
Bella invites Edward out that weekend. He asks which beach, and she says La Pouche, and he backs out. At La Pouche, the guys and Jessica are getting ready to surf when 3 of the locals show up: Jacob, a friend, and Sam.
Who is Sam? I've wrote Jacob and his 2 pals / brothers.
You'll learn about them.
They're not introduced at all. It's just Jacob and 2 mini Jacobs. Are they brothers?
A pack.
I'm
winking.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
They're wolf boys.
But they basically just look like 3 little Jacobs. The wolf pack. Remember the wolf pack for the wrestling?
I remember it's for Emmerdale.
The pub, yeah.
Down to wolf pack.
Right, this is where when you're editing this later, you need to play the Wolfpack song, NWO Wolfpack.
Is there a Wolfpack theme for Emmerdale?
The Wolfpack is back and something like that. It's fucking good. It's got Sting with his red paint on, Lex Luger, Conan, Kevin Nash, I think. Play it now.
At La Pouche, the guys and Jessica are getting ready to surf when 3 of the locals show up. Jacob, a friend, and Sam. They ask if they can hang out, and Jessica tells them to keep Bella company since her date bailed on her. Jacob, a little miffed, asks who that was. Jessica says it was Edward, and Sam makes the comment that the Cullens can't come to La Pouche. Later, Bella asks Jacob what Sam meant by that. Jacob says that it's a really scary story and tells her that according to legend, the tribe is descended from wolves, and that Jacob's grandfather came across the Cullens hunting on their territory.
Yeah, I'm not listening to this story. I'm trying to, but my interest is waning heavily here. Basically, Jacob, I've wrote here, this is what I've wrote.
Are you more interested in the love?
And I'm just interested in the runtime, which there's still over an hour left on this fucker. They say the Cullens don't come here. Jacob tells her some mad story about wolves and palefaces and this treaty for the olden days.
Yep.
So basically, they agreed, they made a treaty, the wolves and the vampires, to stay off each other's turf, essentially.
Yep.
Is the what I got from it. Barely listening.
At home, Bella starts looking up the Twilight legends and comes across a book that is sold in a bookstore that is in a town close by called Port Angeles.
Yeah, that's
right.
My main man Waylon's on his boat.
Waylon is on his boat.
He's listening to some tunes, he's on his boat, he looks happy. And then he starts looking about, there's some freaky shit going on around him. He doesn't quite know what it is. He then turns his boat on and tries to drive away. Then this vampire shows up and pulls his boat back with her super strength. And he's not at all fazed by this. He's just like, oh, hey, honey, because she's hot. And I'm like, she just pull your boat back, mate? You not worried about that?
He's not freaked out by this random female vampire, but he's really freaked out by the guy.
Aye, because he thought he had a chance, maybe with a female.
Did he?
So Waylon turns around and there's this male vampire behind him. I think this is James.
Volchek from the OC.
Is that who it is? I didn't watch that either. And basically we got a cut here, but we're assuming that Waylon is dead meat. Figuratively, literally.
They ate him, man.
Aye, they ate fuck it, Waylon. You know, he tasted like cigarettes.
The next day in school is all bright, and Sonny and Jessica tells Bella, who is obviously looking around for Edward,
yeah,
that the Cullens never show up on sunny days. They always go hiking and camping.
Yeah, he says their parents pull them out of school on sunny days to go do activities, you'd be kicked out of school. You can't just pull your kid out. See, in this country at least, if you pull your kid out of school to go on holiday, like that aren't in during peak hours, like
You get fined.
you get fined. Your kid gets held back.
Do you think the principal has an opioid habit?
Absolutely, and he's got the doctor, and the doctor gives him free stuff if
He's in his pocket.
they've got a deal. 100%.
He's in a vampire's pocket. They always go hiking camping. Angela runs up excited because she asked Eric to prom and he said yes.
They then say that they're going shopping for prom dresses. Bella tags along because it's at that same town where that book is that she wants. So she goes with her friends to some shop and they're trying on prom dresses, and she is super rude and unhelpful.
They just wanted to go for a day out to probably bond.
You know that scene you get in the movies where they all try on dresses and they come out and they stand at the changing room door and they shake their head as if, nah. And then they go and try something else on, they shake their head and they go, mm-hmm. That's the one.
Did you think they were going to slap one of them into this?
No, but you know, that's the day out that these two bright girls wanted, you know, and Bella's the pure emo that's just like, oh, can I go? I want to go buy this book. I'll meet you at dinner.
Some guys walk by the shop and they like whistle and catcall. The girls kind of brush it off. Bella isn't interested in dresses. As you said, she goes looking for this book.
She buys some book. She walks down these stairs. These creepos follow her from out of an alleyway.
She walks into this crime watch scene. What is this? This is awful. This in this Twilight movie.
So these creepos are following her down this alleyway. They all surround her. They're making sexual comments or like, oh, come with us, baby, and all that sort of stuff. She's telling them to back off.
And then this Volvo shows up.
Man, Edward swings in like fucking Vin Diesel in a Fast and Furious movie here. He like, what do you call it? He drifts into the scene in this car. He gets out of his car, he looks at him, and I thought, yes, I'm starting to get excited. I thought this movie's about to get good. We're going to see him ripping some fucking heads off here. And then he just stares at them and they walk away.
He growls, man.
He just goes, "Urgh."
This guy goes, that was a really dangerous manoeuvre or something. Oh,
Terrible. This scene is rotten. And I was like, I had high hopes. This movie was terrible. It wasn't doing it for me. I was like falling asleep watching it. I wasn't interested at all. And then when he whips in this car, I'm like, finally we're going to see some like vampiring. He's going to start ripping throats. That Rambo movie, he's going to just rip their throats out. But he just growls at them, then they walk away.
Part 3 starts getting the head rips and stuff, which is pretty cool.
But you can't just give us good stuff by part 3.
I like part 2. There's a possibility. You know that? Remember that one?
No, I don't.
Mind that one?
I really don't.
Mind that one,
No.
Ryan? We were all singing that. There's a possibility. Mind that?
Who sang that?
Like Lee.
No idea.
Mind?
Gun to my head, I would not know who that is.
Do you remember?
No. I'm trying to make Mike Lee at him.
These guys are off. Do you know there's something spooky about him?
They take one look at this creepy bastard and they're like, right, let's get out of here. Edward then gives her a lift home. He implies that he can read their minds at this scene. And she's all like, what are you talking about? You can read minds? And he doesn't really go into it any deeper.
He tells her to distract him, otherwise he's going to go back and pure rip the guys apart.
That's cooler to me. And she kind of wants him to do it. You know, this whole thing excites her. But she wants him to rip some maids off.
I think he's dropping Bella off, then he's paying each one of them a visit, and he's doing weird things like ripping fingernails one at a time.
Oh, see, show me that movie though. Show me that where he's like nice to her and pretending he's like a rehabilitated vampire, but really like he goes out at night and stalks his prey.
It's hard to sell that to tweens though, isn't it?
I bet.
The fingernails specifically.
Sell it to me. I want to see that film.
It's just shooting the cinema.
Twilight, director's cut. Just me in the cinema, me and Billy Connolly in the cinema.
Oh!
Yo, that's bogging!
Is that how much it is for nachos now?
See these American cinemas? Whatever happened to popcorn and ice cream? Now they're selling chicken wings at the pictures.
I really like an Oasis. But when Billy sure loves Oasis. You know, the purple one. I've not seen empty drink name in years. Did that used to have a flicky lid?
What a specific drink.
They get to the restaurant and Jessica and Angela have already eaten.
This scene is weird. He doesn't eat anything, as we find out. So, like, she just orders and he doesn't eat a thing. She orders mushroom ravioli. What's that all about?
Sounds delicious.
You're a vegan.
Sounds delicious.
Mushroom ravioli. He's been really vague, but he's basically telling her that he's a vampire without telling her. At this point, just fucking let her know what's happening. He's been super vague about it.
You tell everybody.
Oh, you know what I'm like.
You would.
Here, I'm a vampire.
You would.
Instantly, because I can't lie, I can't hide it anyway. They see all the blood dripping out the side of my mouth and they're like, what's that? You bleeding? I'm like, I just ate something. I mean, what?
Pigeon in your pocket. Pure stuffed in your pocket. But the thing is, you keep it in, you know how the sandwich containers you get from the shops.
I'm pure no sort of about it. I'm like, I'm grabbing them for George Square. In front of all the tourists. And that pigeon, that's mine. Nobody take it. Like, we don't want it, it's a pigeon. I'm just in the middle of the city chambers just munching on it. There's feathers everywhere. Whoa, delicious. You go phone the police.
You put half-chewed ones in Greg wraps.
I've got like a reusable Greg bag. I take it out of my pocket, used to have a sausage roll in it. I just put the bones of the pigeons in.
You've got a Subway wrapper that's a foot long, but it's 2 pigeons.
Apparently he's a vampire, but all he does is eat pigeons in public.
He doesn't eat.
He's not even a vampire. He's just pure.
He's just got a taste for it.
He's just pure sick.
Through their conversation in the restaurant, Edward reveals that he can read thoughts. And that's how he found Bella. He goes around the room naming the thoughts that everyone is thinking. You know, like money, sex, a cat.
I think he's just guessing. He's a very generic. That's not reading somebody's mind. Pointing at somebody going, money. Pointing at somebody else and going, sex.
Scrolling through anybody's Instagram.
Pointing at another guy and going, cat. That's like, seeing the Barbie movie where Ken just says beach. Like, he's just saying words and associating them with people. Like, everybody's thinking about sex and money. I'm on...
Check you, P. Diddy.
I'm Shania Twain, man. That don't impress me much.
We are Diddy. And you?
Hard Diddy.
Yeah, we Diddy Rider. And you?
Diddy Rider.
What's he gone by now? Just Sean Combs, isn't it?
Probably, man. I think he's in a bit of trouble. Has he no maybe been named in the Tupac death?
Still?
His name is... Remember they arrested somebody recently?
Jada wishes she was named in that, man.
Oh, man. She wants anything to do with him. Jada's lost the plot.
She's lost the will.
Oh, nice.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. That was good wordplay.
But he can't read Bella's thoughts. In the car ride home, Bella accidentally touches Edward's hand as she tries to adjust the temperature. His hands are freezing cold. He doesn't say anything. They pull up to the police station in Forks where Bella sees her dad's cruiser and Edward sees his father's car. Dr. Cullen comes out having explained the body of another person who had been attacked by an animal. She starts looking up various legends about cold ones and finds legends on vampires from all different cultures.
I'm sorry. She Googles this. See, if you Google cold ones, you're going to get a can of Budweiser.
There would be so many results.
You would have to sift through this for pages and pages until you got onto the site that she's on.
Can I tell you how long it's been since I went to the second page of Google?
You never go to the second page of Google.
See
if it's not on the first page, I'll just put it's not worth knowing.
It's not worth knowing. I'm being deadly serious here. I don't think I've bothered with the second page of Google in like a decade.
I genuinely agree with you. Like, see if it's not the first 3 or 4 results. I don't care. Yeah, nor the first 2 that are like sponsored or whatever, with the adverts at the top because they're no real. And then yeah, and then there's like, obviously the first one's usually a Wikipedia entry. It's Wikipedia, and then it's like something for like the Daily Record or whatever newspaper. And then if it's not there after that, then you just give up.
Agreed.
But she's deep into it. She's in like page 4 of Google searches, which at this point it's got nothing to do with what she's talking about. It just says the word cold ones. That's what she Googles. Cold ones.
It's daft.
It's going to be beer or like cans of soda or something, or like, do you know what I mean? It's not going to be like this pure vampire, subtext, supernatural, historical website that tells her everything that she needs to know in great detail. Why can't the book just tell her everything she needs to know? Why does she need to go into Google?
It's this big montage, and it ends with the image of Edward leaning in for the kill.
Yeah, but it's like he's got a emo fringe. It's like, I guess this is supposed to be back in the 1800s, and they've tried to de-age him or something, but all they've done is just put a fringe over one of his eyes, and it looks ridiculous. At
school the next day, she locks eyes with him, then deliberately walks past him and into the forest. She tells him she knows what he is, that he's impossibly fast, cold, pale. He tells her to say it. She says, vampire.
This, as you're saying this is shot so weirdly. The camera keeps cutting to these weird angles. There's like these weird zoom-in shots. I think it's trying to add tension or a weird pace to the scene, but it's just confusing.
It's trying to be theatrical.
It's not working though. It's just making me a bit... It's giving me a bit of motion sickness, to be honest. And it just looks like shit and it sounds like shit. It's all grey. They're in this forest which could have been lit beautifully, or it could have been lit really dark and creepily, but instead it's just grey and bland.
Yeah.
Just like them. Even their outfits are wearing, like... She's just wearing like a grey t-shirt and he's wearing his grey jacket and navy blue t-shirt. It's just like, put some colour on or something, man. Last night, I watched half of it last night and the rest of it this morning. So as I was watching this is when I text you. I don't know if you remember, I was texting you, being like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I physically can't do this. This scene broke me beyond belief. This scene and the following scene, the next sort of 5 minutes of film here, a lot happens. I've got so many notes.
What did I ask you at this point?
Have they started playing organised sporting events or something? Yeah. And I didn't understand what that meant.
You know now, didn't you?
I wish I still didn't understand. So I've wrote here, if you'll allow me to just read my notes, cut me off at any time. She walks into the woods and he follows. She confronts him about being a vampire. This is shot so weirdly. Asks if she's afraid and she says she's not. You won't hurt me, she says. He runs her up the mountain, and this special effects is rotten in block capitals. Jesus fucking suffering fuck.
So bad.
Oh my god, what is this? It's like, so he runs her up this mountain. She's piggybacking, and he's running up this stupid mountain. He goes into the sunlight. He starts like sparkling, and I start dying, man. I've heard this like. Again, not knowing Twilight, never seen it before.
You couldn't escape a lot of that.
I've heard the memes and stuff like, oh, these vampires sparkle. I thought that was like some sort of joke. I didn't know that was a literal thing.
Something in it.
They actually just sparkle like diamonds. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
What's even crazier is he starts sparkling, she looks at him and goes, "You're beautiful."
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to turn this off. I turn it off at this point. First of all, I laugh hysterically. I need to pause it because I missed the next 2 minutes because I'm laughing so hard.
Yeah, no, he did
like,
at this
my
point.
wife's, I've got a headache because I'm tired. I'm sick of this film, but I'm also finding it so funny. He says he's not beautiful, he's a killer. She says she doesn't care and she trusts him. How do you trust him? He's just admitted to you that he's a killer. And she's like, I don't care. Like, she needs therapy, she needs help.
He says that Bella is his
heroin. You're my own brand of heroin. I'm like, who wrote this?
That is so bad.
Surely this is directly from the book, because no self-respecting screenwriter can write that and be happy with it.
The next few minutes is tied up in a montage of them together in a meadow and just generally getting to know one another.
No, but it says something like the lion falls in love with the lamb, And she says, no, the lamb loves the lion. He's like, oh, what a stupid little lamb or something. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is happening? I hate it. I hate it so much, Karen. I hate it.
Keep going, man. You take it.
What is this lion and lamb patter? They're in love with each other. They're in love with each other now, and they haven't even winched. They lie in the grass and stare at each other, and he sparkles again, and I'm dying again. They're just lying looking at each other in this grass, like, at least kiss or something.
Winched, by the way. When did you get turned into a vampire in the 70s? And you're just using that part.
Well, she's all into the fact that he's weird and that he's old and that he's fucking a killer. She likes the danger. She's got some issues.
I don't know if she likes
She
things
needs a
old.
strong fucking male role model in her life.
He shows up at her house one night, having snuck through her window, and he tells her he wants to try something. He instructs her to remain very still, then leans in for the kiss. She gets a little carried away and pulls him on top of her, but he freaks out and throws himself backwards. He can't lose control, and she apologises for losing control herself. Edward tells Bella he wants to introduce her to his family, and she's afraid they won't like her.
Edward's talking to her and he says that in 1918 he was dying of the Spanish flu. Is that right? And then Dr. Carlyle changes him, but he holds back, like he doesn't kill him. This is when he teaches him about what? It's because I'm calling him doctor all the time.
You always respect his profession.
He worked hard for his doctorate.
You're slagging him, but every time you don't refer to him as the doctor or Dr. Carlyle.
Do you know what? You see, in all honesty, why I've called him doctor? It's because it takes me until the end of the movie to know what his name is. So like, in my notes, I've just called him the doctor.
You stay
and then I've had to go back and call him
Carlyle.
So he explains how Carlyle changed him into a vampire, but he held back. It didn't kill him. He explains how vampires are created, kind of thing. He has this conversation with her about his origins. He says, he compares it to like a human who's a vegetarian. Like, that's how they eat deer. Like, they don't eat humans, but they eat deer. It's like a human eating tofu instead of a steak, sort of thing. That's the comparison he makes. Edward goes to leave in his wee car. Jacob and his dad pass him, and they're giving him pure daggers out this motor. Do you see this?
He wants his son to pump Bella.
He shows up and they want to watch the game on Charlie's flat screen. He's brought some beer. The flat screen, in reference to the TV, were flat screen TVs like just coming out in 2008?
Yeah.
Because I say it's a big thing, like, oh, your dad's got a flat screen.
Yeah.
We need to watch the game. Like, before that, was it the big chunky
Huge,
TVs?
massive. That
Oh, we all
telly,
had a chunky TV.
that would be out to your head, a telly that size.
Oh, the telly
No joke.
that you've got. Oh, I know. I had one. My mum and dad still got one. I think they've no evolved.
If it works, it works. That's fine.
That's the thing. Like, I keep on telling them to get a smart TV. You can get them for cheap now at Asda.
But
Like,
also,
that one works fine. They'll use it until it breaks.
good argument, though. You can't really argue against
Remember
it.
like, again, we're sounding like grandpas here, but remember TVs used to have the VHS
Combo.
TV combo. Oh, the best.
This house is really cool. Bella explains she's already eaten and doesn't want to inconvenience them.
His family's making an effort, at least, because they are making Italian food because her name's Bella, which I thought was quite funny.
You know they've ground up some poor bastard into a spaghetti sauce.
Think so? Think this is... No, I think this is quite
Human.
wholesome.
I think they get kicks out feeding humans to humans,
See, to be right.
and they laugh about it later.
See, to be honest, see if you made me something that tasted amazing, and then afterwards, like a couple of weeks later, you're like, by the way, that was a human in there. See if it tasted nice and I didn't get sick. I wouldn't be that bad.
After the horse meat scandal, I've seen you licking your lips looking at horses.
That didn't bother me at all. See, they're like, oh, was it Tesco or Sainsbury's? Or something was
Tesco.
like, they had horse meat in their sandwiches and stuff. I'm like, did you notice at the time? Did it taste any different? Why are you moaning?
Yeah, they're kind of freaking out, especially Rosalie. She is quite antagonistic towards Bella.
Yeah, they kind of threaten her, the family, in a sort of subtle way. They're kind of like, now you're part of the family, like, it's dangerous. They basically tell her, don't be a grass.
Yeah.
In no uncertain terms. She's like, oh, I won't tell anybody, promise. And they're all just kind of staring at her, and it's quite awkward and uncomfortable. But this scene's actually quite good. I didn't mind this scene.
Yeah.
He takes her up to his room. Edward, that is, takes Belle up to his room. And as they're walking up the staircase, there's this big, huge plaque on the wall. It takes up like a full wall, and it's full of graduation caps.
This is their life.
I at least respect the fact that they acknowledge that they must go to school constantly.
Could you imagine? He
Why do
repeats
they go
the
to school
same.
constantly?
To keep up appearances.
But I say if you just hide in the woods.
They literally have a passport guy, okay? It's Wendell Pierce, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Bunk for The Wire.
Yeah.
If they've got a passport guy, they've got a social security guy. You just need to reset that every couple of years. They have... I would rather you stuck a stake through my neck 1,000 times.
They make you go for the rest of his life. He has to go to high school constantly.
The same year of high school every year the rest of your life.
So he's apparently 17 when he died. Is that what we're supposed to believe?
Fifth year.
Yeah, 17.
year.
Call him 18 to round it up. So 5th or 6th year in school, every day for the rest of your life, constantly just on a loop. Why? Why would you do this?
You'd rather die.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the garlic out. I'm done with this.
He references at one point that people are getting suspicious about Carlisle's age. I kind of like that stuff. I wish they did that movie.
They should be suspicious of Carlisle's age and like why these people aren't aging and stuff, but they get away with far too much. As we mentioned earlier, one look at these people and it's just like, that's a bunch of vampires.
Oh, you know for a fact.
Yeah, or at least cannibals or something. There's something not right with this family, but for whatever reason they just keep on getting away with it. Anyway, they go to his bedroom, and you would expect somebody who's like 100 years old to have like a cooler bedroom than this. This does look like a 17-year-old's bedroom. It's just missing a couple of crusty socks. He's got loads of CDs. She's like, oh man, you've got a great collection of music. He doesn't have a bed in his room because he doesn't sleep, which I think's pretty cool.
He would have a kick-ass vinyl collection, surely. Like an OG original, man.
He would have the best originals because he was there.
He was there for all of it and it would be pristine. That would be the gag, surely.
Yeah.
CDs, man. Savage Garden.
It's appalling, isn't it?
They jump into the trees.
He throws her on his back and jumps into
They
the tree.
jump into the trees.
And that's when he goes, hold on, spider monkey. And that's when I'm like, oh, get us to fuck.
I thought you might think she'd turn into a spider monkey.
Man, I was expecting it. And then he just starts jumping about these trees in this terrible CGI.
Bad.
It's like,
so bad.
Is it supposed to be like Tarzan and Jane? What's going on here?
It's rough.
It's horrible looking. And then have this helicopter shot of these two stunt people standing on top of this big tall tree.
The real stuff's cool.
I mean, it's a nice view. I mean, I don't know where they are shooting this. I don't know if it's in Washington or wherever it is. But they've got this big, nice, beautiful tree, this greenery, and this big, nice river. But again, like, they don't show it enough. They don't show any nice, beautiful shots in this movie. They quickly just cut back to this grey, bland fucking two arseholes sitting on top of this tree talking shit. And I'm done with it.
Charlie is with some other people and dogs as they try and track the animals who they think are responsible for the attacks. They find the footprints of the woman who is involved in the attacks, say she's headed east, but that is all. Charlie and Bella end up at the diner again and asked if there has been any progress with the attack cases. He says there hasn't been. Charlie then starts asking Bella about the boys, Mike and the other boys that are outside the diner goofing off. Bella,
She just cuts them off, basically, and says she doesn't want to talk about it. And then we see in the next scene she's talking to her mum about boys on the phone.
Bella comes to Charlie, who is cleaning his shotgun.
This is funny. Man, I like Charlie. He's drinking one of these beers again, cleaning his gun.
He's just chugging beer through this whole movie.
Hey, winner. I would as well. What else are you going to do in Forks?
She kind of says she's dating Edward and he wants to meet her dad.
By the way, Edward comes through the window at this point. Before she goes downstairs, sorry. And basically admits to her, by the way, I've been watching you sleep for weeks. And she's not freaked out by it.
She's cool with it.
She's like, oh, cool. I'll be like, why have you been doing this? That's an invasion of my private space.
Edward introduces himself to Chief Swan and tells him that Bella is going to play baseball with his family. Charlie chuckles a bit at this, says assumption that Bella's no good at sports. Says okay.
I mean, we've seen that volleyball scene at the start. She's never seen a sport in her life, it looks
She
like.
doesn't know what sports is.
Aye.
I'm no judging, I'd be just as bad. Charlie asks Bella if she still has that pepper spray.
That bit's funny. Again, Charlie makes me laugh.
What? Oh, right. The
Big
scene,
Chico.
man. The scene.
Oh no, right. Oh no, we're here. We're at it. I don't know what's worse about this scene. I don't know if it's the baseball, the greyness of the scene, the fact that all these special effects are all going at the one time, and I think this processor that's trying to film it all is going to explode. Or the worst part of all, the Muse soundtrack in the back.
At the game, a thunderstorm rolls in, and Alice says it's time to start. Bella plays as an umpire, and Carlisle, Rosalie, and Jasper all take turns at the bat. Esme catches.
As they're doing this, Muse are playing Supermassive Black Hole, and I'm fucking clawing my ears out.
Muse fell down a supermassive black hole, didn't he?
Oh, Muse in this movie, both of my utmost contempt.
I would have left them in the noughties, man.
I think that's where they belonged.
They're just making music for puggies now in FIFA.
Oh, it's totally FIFA music. That's a good call.
Pure FIFA start music.
They're all using their powers. This blonde chick fucking hates Bella. Not as much as I hate this film. Other vampires show up and they all get nervous. Laurent, Victoria and James. James is a mad ponytail. They tell Bella to hide behind them. The wind blows and they smell the human and they all break into these fight poses.
You brought a snack.
This is crazy, this scene. So James gets a good big whiff here. He goes, his big nostrils come out and he flares. He can smell Bella and everybody freaks out. And again, just like the scene earlier, when Edward jumps out the car and you think he's going to rip some heads off, I'm like, finally, a fight scene. Something's going to happen in this movie.
How funny is it the way they're introduced, the way they move and stuff like that?
It's, whoa. They sort of float.
Yeah.
They come out of the woods.
It's pure
Which would be cool.
Power Rangers-y.
It's like Power Rangers film, you're right. It's like, there's a cool way to shoot this movie. Kind of like, this is going to be a weird comparison, but remember those three guys in Buffy that steal your screams?
Yeah.
Steal your voice?
Hush.
Yeah, Hush, that's right. It would have been cool if it was something like that. But they're just these three geeks.
In denim.
Stroll out the woods and they're like, alright, he's playing some baseball. But no, they're just like, using it to leave now. And they just jump in a car and drive away. And I'm like, what's happening? Like, we need to see some action in this fucking film, but we get nothing. Edward pulls her out in the car. They drive away really fast. He explains that James is a hunter and that now that he's got her scent, he will not stop until he gets her. She can't go home. She can't do anything about it. The only way to stop it is by killing James and ripping him apart and burning his body. Is that right? So they finally get home to Bella's house. She is packing her stuff. She says to her dad she needs to leave. She's been a pure dick to her dad here. Again, my man Charlie's getting it tight for no reason. He's basically just wanting to speak to her and being like, look, if you want to leave in the morning, I'll drive you to the airport myself. She's like, no, I need to leave. What does she say to him? Like, she says something really unnecessarily harsh at the end, which she doesn't have to say.
She's trying to hurt him.
But why? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I can't mind, man.
Because at one point, Edward says that you're going to have to hurt his feelings because he won't let you leave otherwise.
Yeah, because he won't
Also-
understand any of this. Alice, Jasper and Bella make it to Phoenix.
Well, before that, they go to Edward's house, get all tooled up for a big fight. They go to the house, they've got some of Bella's clothes, they all wear her clothes so that they've all got her scent, which is pretty smart. Bella goes with, who does she go with?
Alice and Jasper.
Yeah, she goes in a car with them. Edward goes somewhere else. They're basically trying to like split them up to confuse the tracker, whatever. They come up with a plan, and I'm thinking, right, they're getting all tooled up for the big finale. We're going to get a big fight here. We're going to get the Cullens versus the bad guys who have yet to be identified, really. And we're going to have a big final showdown. It's going to be cool. So they get to Phoenix. Basically, she gets a phone call, Bella that is, from her mum, and she's an idiot. Like, I've not seen this movie before. I don't know what happens, but as soon as I hear this phone call, I'm like, that's not her mum. And he's like, oh, if you want to see your mum again, you'll come alone. I'll know if you brought the vampires, and if you do, I'll kill your mum. I was like, right, okay. And then she just goes to the ballet studio alone and is immediately like confronted with this tape that's just a recording of her mum. And like, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You deserve to get killed.
She opens a closet and sees a TV with her as a little girl and her mum. James turns up and explains that he borrowed the tape and a camcorder, and he starts recording as he tortures Bella by throwing her across the room and breaking her leg.
Why does he do this?
I don't know, man, he's weird.
No, but like, see if you're like this vampire that's like hungry and thirsty for blood, are you not just dying to just get torn in and just take the blood?
Just eat her.
I guess it's the whole like you play with your food before you eat it. That's what predators do.
These are bad ones, yeah.
Yeah, so he's playing with his food before he eats it, kind of thing, I suppose. He breaks her leg. She's all fucked up, and then Edward shows up, and finally, in the final scene, the final 5 minutes of this movie, we've got some sort of fight scene.
It's not bad as well.
I mean, it's okay. It's better than nothing, I guess.
James ends up getting back to Bella and biting her wrist. Edward finally pins James and rips chunks from his neck.
That's cool.
Alice, Jasper, Emmett and Carlisle arrive. All the violence when Twilight does it really well, especially when David Slade does part 3. They should just have done more of it.
Totally, yeah.
They take care of James, lighting a fire and tearing him to bits. Alice is pretty good at breaking necks. And Carlisle and Edward start working on Bella. She's screaming and riving in pain, and the bite is nasty. It's really cool.
Yeah.
The venom's trying to take over.
Yeah, basically she's just about to turn into a vampire, is that right? Or she's about to die. I don't know what's going to happen. Basically, Edward has to suck the venom out of her, but he's all worried about it in case he goes too far and ends up not being able to stop himself and sucking her blood or whatever.
This is like the humping you're talking about. Carlisle tells him to find the strength, so if they humped, Carlisle could just be there and say, "Whoa, slow down, son.
Of that. Like, you can stop now. You're
slow
finished.
down, son." She's enjoying that.
You're
Let me
back
step
your
in now.
pointers. Right, you've warmed her up for me.
Bella blacks out. Bella then wakes up in the hospital with her mum, who explains that she fell down a flight of stairs and through a window. Have you seen The Exorcist? Basically, that happened to you.
Aye. I mean, it's a good cover story, I suppose, but it's also such a comical thing to picture that she's fell down some stairs and also out of a window.
That is honestly like what happened to Fred Quimby. Ciao there! Ciao there! Come here, Frenchie. Ciao there!
What the hell is this?
It's a bowl of chowder, sir.
Wait a minute, come here. What did you call it? Say it loud enough so everyone can hear. Come on, say it.
Chowder.
Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Chowder! Chowder!
Our mum asked her to go back to Florida, and she's like, "No, I want to stay in Forks." And I'm like, "Why? This place is a shit."
Has this been a good experience for you?
Nothing. Well, again, it's that whole I need to stay here because he's here. She's fell in love with
Wait
a guy.
until the Frankensteins eat you.
I know, by the way, like, you know there's vampires, you know everybody wants to kill you, it's raining all the time, everybody's pale, like, just get the fuck out of here. Anyway. Edward tells her that James has been taken care of and the girl Victoria ran off. He tells her to go to Jacksonville, that she shouldn't be here because he doesn't want to hurt her, and she's fucking raging. She pure snaps at him. "How would you say that to me? Never say it to that. Never say anything like that to me again," and stuff. She's shouting at him, and I'm like, "Whoa, calm
She
down."
panics and tells him not to leave her, and
Again, it's that whole like I need to be saved by a big strong man complex here.
it's bizarre. He promises not to. By the way, in the next scene, he fucks up within 5 minutes.
Does he?
Within 5 minutes. Back in Forks, Edward and Charlie are waiting uncomfortably for Bella to come down the stairs for a she's all that moment.
But it's kind of funny because like Edward's sitting there in his suit and his dad's just sitting there looking at him drinking a beer again.
Oh, he's looking at us thinking, it's a vampire or something, man.
He's had a couple of beers, so he's not sure if he's drunk. But he's like, "This killer's a vampire, man.
Janky.
I need to shoot him, man."
Janky flung one at him just to see what he would do. Bella comes down, fully decked out in a gorgeous prom dress, and Edward and Bella head off to the prom. Jacob is waiting for Bella outside with his wig and comes with a warning from his dad.
He says, "My dad says we will be watching you," and doesn't elaborate on what that means. And then Edward comes up and says, "I leave you alone for 2 minutes and already the wolves have descended." And I'm like, "Oh, you cannot be less subtle right now about a sequel."
That's like the Batman.
Oh, when he finds the Joker's calling card and he's just like, "It says Joker, what does that mean?"
See you next time, baby, with the werewolves.
Aye, basically this is it. There is going to be a sequel, by the way.
Edward helps Bella dance on his feet, and she finally says that she wants to become a vampire, that she's chosen a life with him. He asks why a long life with him wouldn't be good enough, and tells her that he doesn't want to end her life. She says it's good enough for now. Panning out, we see a woman watching the two of them dance from an upstairs window. When she turns around, we recognise Victoria. She shakes her hair down and smiles evilly before walking away from the window.
And the camera does this weird transition to black and white as she's walking down, and that's how the credits start.
And that is the character and actress out of the movie. Bryce Dallas Howard takes over.
Did they replace her altogether?
Yes, sir.
Why was she not good?
Get a near ginger actor in here. I don't know if she wanted too much money, possibly, or I think they wanted a name attached to it. It became
Was
too
Bryce
big.
Dallas Howard a name at this point though?
Aye.
Or because her dad?
Well, Spider-Man 3 was the most recent, I guess.
Oh God, I forgot she was in that.
Twilight 2008. This was your first, man.
And hopefully my last.
No.
I don't want to return to this universe. I don't want to return to these characters. I don't want to see this horrible, toxic, doomed relationship ever again. But I know because of this podcast, I'm going to have to sit through it again. I despise this movie. I did not like it. It looked like shit. The script was rotten. The acting was terrible. Like, and I know that some of these people in this movie are good actors. I know they're better than what this is, and they're not given a lot to work with. But I hated all of it, man. I just couldn't get. There was not one redeeming quality. I've got nothing good to say about it, man. It's 0.5 out of 5 coconuts.
Oh! Another much-loved book series has been brought to life, this time with the Mormon vampire love story, the Twilight series, which, despite having nothing in common with the Harry Potter series, will undoubtedly draw comparisons between the craze surrounding it. The main difference between the two, however, is that the Harry Potter films are generally good, well-made films. Twilight, despite having done a couple of things right, is not that at all. They are cheap and really weird, and they were huge! These movies were so big, and they were for teens, which I am not now, and I was not then, so I take what I can from them. I liked the pre-zombie craze vampires. We had this, we had True Blood, vampires were hot. I like these actors, but they are given total drivel to spit at each other between growls and CGI dogs barking. Despite the flaws, I seen all of these in the cinema. I do like Breaking Dawn Part 1 quite a bit. That movie takes a breather and Bella goes through some proper body horror stuff in that one. I just wish the rest of them had some teeth. This is trashy and it's whatever. For every Lord of the Rings there is an Eragon, and this is one of those kind of low rent situations. Another big series brought to life. I do find it entertaining to some degree though. 2 out of 5 coconuts.
So let's pick up a wee bit. Let's go for a better movie next week.
What about something cold, honey?
Right, let's go. We've left Halloween behind. We've left vampires behind. It's November. It's getting more into winter. The clocks have went back. Let's go somewhere cold. Let's go somewhere chilly. Let's go somewhere a little bit different. Roll that trailer.
Once upon a time.
Looks like she's gonna turn cold tomorrow. Yeah, you got that right.
There was a salesman called Jerry Lundergaard
Okay, real good then.
who always dreamt of striking it rich.
Weed, have you had a chance to think about that deal I was talking about, those 40 acres there in Wayzata?
Jerry, we're not going to just give you $750,000.
No, but see, So, we all set on this thing then? You want your own wife kidnapped? Now, her dad, he's real well off. So, why don't you just ask him for the money?
Wade, it's Jerry. I don't know what to do.
It's something hard, geez. It's terrible.
But in a place called Fargo,
Mr. Lundegaard? I'm a police officer from up Brainerd investigating some malfeasance.
anything can happen.
How's Jean? Who's Jean? My wife.
All due respect, Jerry, I don't want you mucking this up.
The heck do you mean?
No Gene, no money.
Who are you?
do you mean? Blood has been shed, Jerry.
Here's the second one. I want you to tell me what these fellas look like.
Well, the little guy, he was kind of funny looking.
Can you be any more specific?
He wasn't circumcised.
Geez, that's a good lead.
Yeah.
From the creators of Barton Fink
I'm cooperating here. And there's no,
and Raising Arizona.
What do you fellas got yourself mixed up in?
Oh, jeez.
You're there in 30 minutes where I find you, Jerry, and I shoot you, and I shoot your wife, and I shoot all your little children, and I shoot them all in the back of the little heads. You got it?
You should see the other guy.
Oh, jeez.
Fargo.
End of story.